I'm Lily, 31, sitting in a quiet apartment that echoes with too much silence. The walls feel colder now, stripped bare not just of photos and warmth, but of the life we once built. The air is thick with regret, heavy with words I wish I could take back. For days, maybe longer, I've been replaying one moment over and over in my mind. A single sentence. Careless, sharp, and so much more destructive than I understood at the time. It was a Wednesday, nothing remarkable about it. I was curled up on the couch, aimlessly scrolling through my phone, drowning in meaningless posts while the TV murmured in the background. When Daniel came home, I barely looked up. His steps were slower than usual. He dropped his keys with a soft clink, kicked off his shoes, and exhaled deeply, the kind of sigh that spoke of long hours and endless spreadsheets. He worked as a financial analyst, and while I didn't always say it, I admired his dedication. Even if lately we felt like strangers sharing a space instead of partners building a life. There had been cracks, small ones at first, missed glances, stretched silences, smiles that didn't quite reach our eyes. I'd noticed, I just hadn't wanted to face it. He loosened his tie and gave me a faint smile. "Hey, what's for dinner?" I didn't even look at him. Not sure, I mumbled, "Maybe we'll figure something out later." It was a throwaway line, something I thought would float by unnoticed, but it didn't. He hesitated. "You've been home all day, Lily." Just 6 words. Not shouted, not cruel, but they landed hard, carried on the quiet weight of disappointment. I felt my defenses flare. The sting of his tone, the assumption. Before I could stop myself, I snapped, "You think staying home is easy?" My voice was sharp, too sharp. Daniel didn't respond with anger. He never did. That was what made his reaction so devastating. He was measured, always, calm, but his stillness said everything. "I'm not asking for a 5-course meal," he said quietly. "Just something." It should have ended there. A simple miscommunication. A moment we could have moved past. But my pride wouldn't let it go. My frustration, my need to push back, to be right, took over, and then I said it. The sentence that would tear everything apart. Maybe if you made what Mark did, I'd feel like cooking. Mark, my ex, the one with the 6-figure salary and luxury condo. The one who, on paper, was everything Daniel wasn't, and the one I had told myself I'd moved on from. The room went still. The temperature seemed to drop. Daniel didn't yell, didn't curse. He just looked at me, with a quiet that chilled me to my bones. A silence filled with hurt I hadn't even begun to understand. Then he spoke. Just one word. Really. It wasn't loud, but it was final, like a door slamming shut, without ever being touched. He turned and walked upstairs. His steps weren't angry, just heavy, like he was carrying not just a day's exhaustion, but the slow weight of years. I thought he just needed space, that he'd cool off and come back down like always. But an hour later, when I finally went upstairs, I found him packing a duffel bag, carefully, quietly, folding his shirts like a man not in a rush, but in resolution. "You're not leaving," I said, forcing a shaky laugh, hoping to defuse the rising panic. He didn't look at me, just kept folding. "I'm done, Lily." I froze. Over one dumb comment, he finally turned to me, and when our eyes met, I felt it. The distance, the hurt, the exhaustion. "It's not just one comment," he said softly. "It's years, Lily. Years of feeling like I've never been enough for you." The truth landed like a punch to the chest. It wasn't just about Mark. Not really. It was about every time I compared him silently. Every time I'd let my disappointment chip away at his confidence. Every unspoken expectation that made him feel like he was trying to fit into a mold I never stopped measuring. I tried to fix it then. I reached for the right words. "Daniel, I didn't mean it. I was just upset. I'm sorry." But the words felt small, flimsy. Too late. He zipped the bag, walked past me with steady steps. At the door, he paused. "I loved you, Lily, but I can't keep trying to be someone else for you." And then he was gone. The door clicked shut behind him, and the silence that followed was deafening. The apartment felt enormous, empty, like a house that had been waiting for someone who was never coming back. I didn't call, didn't text. I told myself he just needed time, that this would pass like all the other fights. But it didn't. A day passed, then 3, then 5, and with every day, the silence between us grew wider, heavier. On the 6th day, I broke. I sent him a voice message, my voice trembling. Daniel, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean what I said about Mark. He had money, yes, but he never saw me. You did. You always did. Please come home. I waited, hoped. The next day, he responded. Just a text. Stop comparing me to your past. I'm not here to fight your ghosts. That was when I finally understood. He wasn't just wounded by what I'd said. He was broken by the realization that he had never truly been first in my heart. It's been 10 days. He hasn't returned. A mutual friend mentioned he's staying with his brother. No drama. No other woman. Just space. And that's what scares me most. Because space means thinking. Choosing. And this time, I don't know if I'm in the running anymore. I miss him. Not just a man who made me laugh or held me close on the hardest nights. I miss the man I took for granted. The one who stayed up with me when I couldn't sleep. Who held my hand through panic attacks. Who tried again and again to prove he was enough. Even when I never made him feel that way. If you've ever let pride speak louder than love. If you've ever thrown words like knives and expected the wounds to heal on their own. Hear me now. Don't wait. Fix it. Before your silence becomes a sound they learn to live with. Before I'm sorry loses its meaning. I thought Daniel would come back. That we'd talk it through. That love would be enough. But love, I've learned, needs more than just feeling. It needs care. It needs safety. It needs to be chosen every day in small ways. And sometimes when you stop choosing it, it stops choosing you.